Tonight on KVR News, UTPD investigates an assault on campus.
UT has its annual Girls' Day.
And UT welcomes a new building.
You're watching KVR News, your leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to KVR News for Monday, February 26th. I'm Brianna Rodriguez.
And I'm Bria Bolden. Thank you for joining us for another newscast.
Police are investigating the death of a UT student after he fell from a 4-story balcony in West Campus over the weekend. Police say it happened on Saturday night on the 2500 block of San Gabriel. After the fall, police say the student was transported to Del Seton Medical Center, where he later died. Police say he was a student in the College of Education. It is still unclear if alcohol was a factor.
Family and friends have created a GoFundMe to help pay for the funeral expenses. To donate, follow the link at the bottom of your screen. UT police are investigating an assault that happened at the Jester dorms over the weekend. The student reported to police she was assaulted by her boyfriend, who is also a student at UT. Police arrested the suspect and are charging him with aggravated assault. UTPD is asking students to immediately call 911 if they feel that they are a victim of any crime or anything suspicious. UT police are determining what criminal charges, if any, could be filed against 2 people whose guns were found on the UT campus. They were found last week in 2 different locations. Police retrieved 1 gun from a women's restroom in the McCombs building, and the other holstered gun was also in a women's restroom at the Commons Learning Center on the Pickle Research campus. Both owners are licensed to carry a concealed gun.
According to a university systems audit, UT President Greg Finvez broke school policy by flying first in business class over the past 2 years. School travel policy says Finvez must fly coach unless it's for approved reasons. His explanation for flying premium class did not fall under approved conditions. The trips were paid with a donor fund for presidential expenses. Finvez will reimburse UT for $27,000, according to a university spokesman.
Over 6,000 girls attended UT's 17th annual Girl Day. The event is a hands-on day dedicated to introducing children K through 8th grade to STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and math. It's part of a national effort that aims to increase the number of female STEM majors.
We hear all the time that Girl Day was the thing that really made me want to take more math and science, or Girl Day is the day when I really decided I wanted to be an engineer. And we hear from our current engineering students a lot of times that Girl Day is what really made them want to come here to be an engineering student.
UT Austin's newest building is now open to the public. Robert B. Rowling Hall will be the new home for McCombs graduate business programs. The building is nearly 500,000 square feet and is hoped to be a place where graduate students can meet with peers, faculty members, and recruiters. The building is named after McCombs alumnus and former regent Bob Rawlings, who donated $25 million to kickstart the construction of the building back in 2014. Even though not all UT students will have the opportunity to learn in this building, many are just in awe at how modern it is.
There's such a broad range of concepts that I can learn from, not even being a business major.
UT just got an extra push to help the university reach new heights in cancer research. The Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas has awarded $3.2 million to the Departments of Molecular Biosciences and Chemistry. The award is divided among 3 professors who are conducting research in 3 distinct areas of cancer prevention. The professors are among 49 Texas scientists awarded $73.5 million this year.
Campus-wide elections are happening this week on the UT campus. Polls open this Wednesday, February 28th at 8 a.m. and close the next day at 5. Students will have the opportunity to choose who they feel would be best suited to lead Texas in 2018. To cast your vote, go online to utexasvote.com.
Statewide early voting in the Texas primaries are underway. According to the Texas Secretary of State, 15 Texas counties with the most registered voters have cast more Democratic primary ballots than Republican for the first time since 2008. Early voting will continue through March 2nd, and Election Day is March 6th. To learn more about the candidates and their policies, visit votesmart.org.
KVR News is launching our newest segment, Around the 40. We'll be giving you a look at upcoming events happening on the 40 acres. The Society of Professional Mediators is holding a facilitated dialogue event called Action Towards Accessibility. It aims to empower underrepresented voices and raise awareness on accessibility on campus. The event is happening on Friday, March 2nd from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Student Services Building in room G1 310.
The Texas Association of Business is encouraging Austinites to vote by advertising polls all around downtown. With early voting going on now and primaries happening on March 6th, they are calling this outreach March Matters. Video screens around the city are showing when and where Austinites can cast their vote and are offering free Torchy's tacos to those who turn out to vote on March 1st.
According to the Austin Chronicle, in the last 10 years, West Campus's population increased by nearly 36%. This increase comes with a higher demand for more student housing, resulting in construction.
Construction in West Campus has contributed to street closures, detours, and water problems affecting residents in the area. These new developments on West Campus include apartment complexes and building improvements. Caitlin Forsyth, a junior at UT and a West Campus resident, sat down with KVR News to discuss her thoughts on the construction.
I feel like everywhere I turn there's construction in West Campus. They were doing construction on my street actually, and my water got shut off, and it was just honestly an inconvenience because I literally couldn't shower.
I talked to a City of Austin housing and community development official to get some insight on the new developments in West Campus.
Proximity to the university is really an asset to students that are attending the University of Texas, and I think the location with great access to transit, its walkability, really is a desirable place to live in Austin. Austin does have a density bonus program that operates in West Campus, the University Neighborhood Overlay. To date, it's created about 608 affordable housing units. The City of Austin and every city is really always changing and doesn't really stand still.
A majority of the construction in West Campus is on track to continue throughout the fall of 2018. Bria Bolden, KVR News.
Coming up on KVR News.
Students walk out of school for stricter gun laws.
And Austin is ranked as the #1 city in the nation.
We'll be right back with more news.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News tip line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. Recent studies from the U.S. Census Bureau show a drop of African American and Latino residents in East Austin by 27% and a rise in white residents by 40%. As Austin's population grows, so does the city's need for more housing. Rolando Hernandez explores more people are moving in and forcing others to move out.
With increasing numbers of displaced Austinites who are victims of gentrification, the city held a task force forum to discuss possible solutions and give the citizens a way to voice their opinions. Tensions were high as many citizens found themselves listening to a lecture rather than discussing the real issue. Mayor Adler had a few words to say on resolving the problem.
It's incumbent upon our city to try as many different things, to really look at and research what cities are doing that seem to work the best, but also to look at what cities have tried that has not worked, so that we learn from other people's failures.
Discussions began as individuals shared their stories and pleaded with city officials to stop the studies and do more for the community. One woman in particular was very outspoken about the displacement of citizens in Austin.
Because the city keeps talking about we need to preserve affordable housing, we need to build affordable housing, yet it keeps evicting people that live in the most affordable housing in all of Austin.
Gentrification and displacement is a problem Austinites are far too familiar with. This public forum brought to light what the government is trying to do to resolve the issue. However, many citizens think that the government isn't doing enough.
These families with small children need the services from the city. In other parts, they won't have it, and they're going to struggle with transportation, the money needed to move out of their homes, and dealing with their job being in the city. There are a lot of things that are not okay. Rolando Hernandez, KVR News.
Over 1,500 students across Austin's middle and high schools participated in student walkouts for stricter gun laws. This is in response to the recent school shooting in Florida, where 17 people were killed. Texas students were warned by school officials not to participate in the protests since it would be a disruption to the school day. Despite the threat of a 3-day suspension, students still showed their support by walking out. Austin students were not the only students walking out. Across the nation, students have been leaving class to support stricter gun laws. While these students have First Amendment rights, they can still be punished for participating, according to a civil rights lawyer for the American Civil Liberties Union in Texas. Edgar Saldivar states that Texas schools still have the right to discipline students who are absent, which includes walking out for protests. Schools can also discipline students if the protests become disruptive.
When UT sophomore Alexa Waxman went to class on Valentine's Day, she had no way of knowing that the high school she graduated from and where her sister currently attends would be involved in a mass shooting. Waxman graduated from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2016, and her sister is a junior. After the shooting, the sisters came together to design a sticker that says, "Don't mess with Parkland," a play on the Don't Mess with Texas slogan. All proceeds will go to the Victims Fund to help with expenses. If it had been one day later, things might have been different.
So my sister actually has the class that was shot in, but the next day, and I was like, oh my God, like I know she has this teacher because I had that teacher 7th period. I know she has, and I know she's in that building, so I'm freaking out. But then I realized they're on block schedule, so there's like a 50-50 shot she's in that classroom. I have no idea what's going on. But then she answered me like, hi, I'm in a completely different building, everything's fine. I was like, okay, everything's fine.
To purchase the sticker, you can visit the website redbubble.com and search "Don't Mess with Parkland."
Several deputies who were on site of the Parkland shooting are being accused of waiting outside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School while students were being shot inside. Police officers claim that they found 4 deputies outside the school with their pistols drawn and behind their vehicles. They only entered the building after police arrived. Sheriff Scott Israel addressed the allegations on CNN's State of the Union and said that if wrongdoings were found, he would take care of business.
Tyson chicken nuggets have long been a favorite food of children and grown-ups alike. But how about chicken nuggets made from meat grown in a petri dish? Tyson recently invested $150 million in food tech startup Memphis Meats, a company who produces cultured meat grown from animal cells. KVR took to the streets to ask Austinites about this investment, whether it would be considered vegan, and answers to the question, would you eat lab-grown meat?
I wouldn't like them to deceive people and say like, oh, this is real meat when it's not actually real meat. Like, say what it is.
I wouldn't eat it because it's not real meat.
I definitely give it a try, but I would be kind of weirded out knowing that my meat had been grown in a dish, you know?
I probably would consider it not to be vegan.
It might be good for like vegetarians or like vegan people who are like, yo, like we want more options and we still want to taste like actual meat but not have actual meat, but then I don't.
Business Insider ranks Austin as the #1 city to live in America, citing the city's music, outdoor spaces, and cultural institutions as some of the main attractions for future residents. But what about future Longhorns? This new ranking could help Tom Herman's recruiting efforts for Texas football. Only 3 other cities near Big 12 programs were ranked some of the Texas's biggest rivals, Texas A&M and OU did not make the list.
Austin Mayor Steve Adler unveiled his plan for the city during his State of the City address at City Hall. Mayor Adler's plan focused on looking to the future, with topics including job creation, infrastructure, and affordability. Mayor Adler noted traffic was one of Austin's biggest challenges, and he plans to tackle this issue by adding more sidewalk mileage and working on major corridors. Mayor Adler concluded his speech by highlighting that Austin can, must, and will lead in the future.
According to Bank of America's 2018 Austin Millennial Report, 75% of local millennials believe their generation spends too much. That explains why 60% of Austin millennials make sure they save, while 59% budget their money. according to the same report. However, local millennials still feel their housing is one of their biggest financial problems in Austin. And let me just say that my biggest financial problem right now is having to change my wardrobe every week to fit Austin's weather.
Oh no, I feel you. I am so sick and tired of this hot, cold. It is just way too much for me.
I agree.
Well, all right, let's see what Gabrielle has for us in the Weather Center. Gabrielle?
Thanks, Brianna and Bria. It looks like Austin will be pretty rainy this week. We'll take a look at this week's weather after the break.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. Get ready to sing in the rain. As the rain drizzles on the 40 acres, temperatures will climb up as the week goes on. But first, let's start with the nice sunshine that we had today. The perfect weather was a great start to a new week. It was mostly sunny, with a high of 69 and a low of 56. And it looks like we will have a 30% chance of showers tonight as the cloud sneaks in. Tuesday, high rises to a peak of 73 with a low of 50. Don't forget to bring an umbrella as we expect 60% chance of showers in the day. Be on the lookout, Longhorn. We expect thunderstorm on Tuesday night. On Wednesday, we will see a high of 77 and a low of 54. Stay dry as we expect a 20% chance of thunderstorm in the day and a 60% chance at night. But don't be too sad. We might have sunshine on Thursday and Friday with highs in the 60s and low in the 40s. And remember, be safe if you are planning to go out in the rainy weekend. Live from the Weather Center, Gabrielle Wong, KVR News.
Thanks, Gabrielle. We'll be right back with sports.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
We're back here on KVR News. It was a big weekend for Longhorn sports, including a crucial game for the Texas men's basketball team. Sean Mapes is here to recap all the action.
That's right. The Longhorns have played many must-win games over the past couple weeks, and Saturday's matchup against Oklahoma State was no different. Let's take a look at the highlights. So Eric Davis spinning for this game, got Jacob Young missing. James Banks gets the rebound, puts it in. Horned Trailblazers just 10 points in the second half. There's Jacob Young with the three. Kern Roach about to hit a step back right there. Gets the roll, and it's in. Tied at halftime. Jericho Sims gets it up, goes up one with 34 seconds left. Now Oklahoma State gets the ball, puts it in. Now they're up one. Kern Roach, to save the season, gets it. Layup, 1 second left. It's in. Oklahoma State gets the ball, cannot make the half-court heave. Texas wins 65-64.
It seems like we ask this every week, but what are Texas's chances to make the NCAA tournament after this weekend's game?
Well, Texas is still going to be on the outside looking in. But the good news is they have two games coming up, one at Kansas and one at home against West Virginia. And if they can knock one of them off, they're both highly ranked teams. If they knock one of them off, they can still make it in the tournament, but it will be an uphill battle. Now, the bad news is Mo Bamba had to sit out the second half on Saturday with a sprained toe, and he's out for tonight's game against Kansas. So the Longhorns will be shorthanded without him and guard Eric Davis.
You mentioned Eric Davis. Documents published by Yahoo Sports revealed that an agent gave Davis a loan in hopes Davis would sign with the agency when he goes pro. What is his status going forward this season?
Yeah, he's probably not going to play the rest of the season. It's safe to say that without him in this lineup, Texas won't be able to find a way to win these games because the only way he's going to play if the season goes longer. If they don't win, the season ain't going longer. So they're going to miss the tournament, and missing Davis really hurts this team. Besides the pedestrian stats that he has, He is a key contributor to this Texas team that already lacks depth, so missing him will surely be felt down the stretch. His absence will be felt down the stretch. And beyond basketball, Texas Swimming and Diving hosted a meet this weekend. Madison Hildreth was at the Texas Swimming Center to give us the details.
With the women's team ranked number 4 and the men's team ranked number 6, Texas Swimming and Diving dominated the Big 12 championship this past weekend. For the 39th year in a row under Coach Eddie Reese, Texas men's swimming and diving kept the conference title in Austin. Freshman diver Jordan Wendell was the star of the meet, not only winning 2 events, but also breaking the NCAA record in the men's platform diving event. Senior swimmer Jonathan Roberts became the second person ever to win 3 Big 12 titles in the 400-yard individual medley. Olympians Townley Haas and Joseph Schooling each won their signature events, the 200-yard freestyle and 100-meter butterfly respectively. The Longhorn men were not the only ones to show out in the Big 12 Swimming and Diving Championship. The women swept all 21 events at the meet. Junior Remedy Rule took first in the 100-yard butterfly, and Evie Pfeiffer won both the 400-yard individual medley and the 500-yard freestyle over the weekend. Junior Quinn Carosa placed first in 2 different strokes, winning her second career conference title in the 200-yard freestyle, in addition to the 200-yard backstroke.
My plan was to go out strong, not afraid of the back half, and Carol's been training me to bring it home all year, so I'm pretty grateful for my comeback season.
It is the Longhorn women's 16th Big 12 team title.
We really want to be one of the best teams in the nation, and now we have the confidence that we are one of the best teams, and I think we're really going to put on a show at NC2As.
The Longhorns have just over 2 weeks to prepare for much stiffer competition at the NCAA Championships held in Columbus, Ohio next month. For TSTV Sports, I'm Madison Hildreth.
Thank you, Sean. Now let's head over to Carli to see what's new in Hollywood. Carli?
Bria, and our last weekly Olympic updates. We'll be right back with your entertainment news.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Former First Lady Michelle Obama is set to release a memoir called Becoming. The book is set to discuss Obama's experience in the South Side of Chicago and her years at the White House. The exciting memoir will be released on November 13th. Ivanka Trump gave a closing statement for the Olympics in South Korea. With threats of nuclear war, the relationship between the United States and North Korea has recently been very tense. According to the South Korean media, President Moon emphasized the importance of talks between the United States and North Korea during a dinner with Ivanka Trump and other members of a U.S. delegation. Even though she did not make any political statements during the closing ceremony, Ivanka's presence had great political meanings. The Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang concluded on Sunday, with Team USA finishing in 4th overall, with 9 gold medals, 8 silver medals, and 6 bronze medals, bringing the total to 23. Norway finished with the most medals, a total of 39. John Schuster brought home gold for Team USA in curling after attempting to win the past 4 Winter Olympics. Closing out these games, numerous athletes took to social media to express their pride and gratitude for being a part of the games and representing America. The torch is now being passed to Beijing, who will host the Winter Olympics in 2022.
Thank you, Carli, and thank you for tuning in.
Make sure to follow us for news updates throughout the week. You can follow us on Twitter at KVR News and like us on Facebook. I'm Bria Bolden.
And I'm Brianna Rodriguez. Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great week.